Welcome to round 3 of the NR2003 Twitter Manager Championship. I'm Andy Graham, commentating here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the last chance qualifier. Let's have a look at the starting grid for today's race. 19 cars are going to try and fill 4 spots, starting 39th down to 42nd for tomorrow's race. Chase Briscoe for Richard Petty Motorsport will be on the pole position for today's race. He's alongside Alex Bowman, who really struggled to get a lap in during qualifying earlier on. Then we got Tyler Petty starting 3rd place. He's alongside Darrell Wallace Jr. in the Wood Brothers car. Front row, take up row 3 here with Paul Menard and James Hinchcliffe. Tyler Reddick had a tough qualifying. He'll start alongside Matt Benedetto. And row 5, we've got Scott McLaughlin alongside Connor Daly, with Matt Kenseth starting in 11th place. Daniel Henrik will be 12th. 13th on the grid, we have Logan Sargent ahead of John Hunter Nemechek. Then we get Timmy Hill in 15th, AJ Allmendinger in 16th, Priest in 17th, with teammate Newman in 18th, and Noah Morrison rounds out the field. We've got 49 laps for these 19 drivers today. No stops as per normal. Everyone has got moving well. Exiting turn 4, Chase Briscoe leading the field to the green flag. And we're racing here. Briscoe gets a good launch. Tyler Petty behind him is caught napping, and this could be great for Bowman for slotting back into 2nd place. He doesn't have to deal with that outside line. So it's good news for him, and now he can focus the attack on Chase Briscoe on the exit of 2. He's got a good run as he goes down low on the 44 car, and he'll take the lead. Tyler Petty in 3rd place is under a lot of pressure from Paul Menard, but it looks like Tyler Reddick in the 1 car is going to be making that move down the bottom and taking the position, that last transfer spot. Chase Briscoe now is going to be under pressure from Tyler Petty, but he's got a good run around that outside. He's going to keep alongside his teammate here. Tyler Reddick is all over the back of the 43 car, and he's going to push him through turns 3 and 4. He's going to look to get to the bottom. Chase Briscoe might be able to get back into transfer spot if he can just get low. It's not quite. Wow, Reddick's not quite cleared him as Menard dives it below, right in front of his teammate McLaughlin there. So they're now looking at Chase Briscoe. We've got the Go Fast on the inside of Logan Sargent. He's having a good run at the moment. But further forwards, we've got Tyler Reddick. He's making the move on Tyler Petty for 2nd place as Bowman continues to lead. Chase Briscoe has managed to get himself clearly into 4th position. Menard's 5th, McLaughlin's 6th, and we've got Kenseth battling for 7th place with Logan Sargent, Ryan Priest behind him. Timmy Hill is going to have some pressure from Allmendinger and Newman. Meanwhile, Tyler Petty is now losing out to Chase Briscoe. That was lost a lot of time battling with Reddick here. And Paul Menard for Front Row Motorsport is going to follow through here. But McLaughlin's going to come down and try and make it 3 wide on the exit of 2. And if these guys battle, it could allow the 32 car in the mix. We've got to watch out for the 39 of Ryan Priest. We know there's some good engine speed in that MBM car, but it's just not a great handling car. It really does struggle in that regard. Timmy Hill in the bottom. He'll be looking to push along. As McLaughlin is looking at Tyler Petty, but here comes Logan Sargent making it 3 wide. The Go Fast car is getting very aggressive here. It's really hurt. Well, this sort of battling is going to be great news for Paul Menard, who's just been allowed to get away as Tyler Petty now slots in front of them with the battle in 34 and 32. Timmy Hill with a 57 is sort of in the mix battling with the 39 car. It's 43. Tyler Petty pulls away. He needs to try and focus on getting to the 35. Meanwhile, Chase Briscoe is going down the inside of Tyler Reddick for 2nd position here. So the top 5 is sort of pulling away a bit here. It's quite a few good cars in this mix. as Briscoe continues to try and fight with Reddick, and there's the 35 car on Bernard looking to get involved. He's going to come down the inside here and make it 3 wide again, but that doesn't last too long. Now he's going to look to take second position. Doesn't quite get those straight line speed here, so he's going to have to slot into third as Tyler Petty's getting in the mix. And while these guys battle, Logan Sargent will be looking to make his way forwards. Reddick going to drop out of the transfer spot here. He's coming into 3 wide into turn 1. As Tyler Petty goes underneath the 35. And there's the 1 of Tyler Reddick. He's now going to dive straight back on Paul Menard. Lots of battling for position here. And that's going to be great news for the 32 car. We've got to watch out. 97, the 38. There's the 77, Connor Daly for Spire. So these guys will really hope this battling continues, because then it really helps them move up the order. Briscoe will be just wanting to get away with it, trying to catch up with the 88. But here comes Logan Sargent on the 35 car. So Go Fast have got some speed here. They've come with a decent enough car to fight for trying to make the race. It's only for 5th at the moment. The transfer spot's just in front of them, but there's some battling. They can get involved with it. There's the 38 of Hinchcliffe. We've got Connor Daly, who's made a move on Allmendinger, but could go a bit high here if he's not careful. I think he will. I think that's Allmendinger going to take the position back. So, the top 4 are sort of grouping together a bit. While Sargent battles with Menard, he's just losing time. He just can't quite pull clear of these guys. Hinchcliffe has got to the back of them as well. So, these guys have lost a lot of time here, as Hinchcliffe's just going to come underneath them and be like, yes, I want that position. The top 4 are sort of closing in on one another. And that would be an opportunity for the cars behind to catch up. I feel like Hinchcliffe will have the speed to do it as long as Menard works with him, which I don't think Menard's going to be the most cooperative. Neither is McLaughlin. That's coming up now. He's behind Allmendinger's 97 car. There's lots of that in the background. You can see Kenseth, Benedetto, Henrik, Noah Morrison, John Hunter, Nemechek. But these guys can work together, and these guys start battling up front. Then maybe there's an opportunity. Lap 15 will be coming up after this one. Bowman leads. Chase Briscoe's in 2nd. Tyler Petty's in 3rd. Tyler Reddick is in 4th. That time by, there's a few more tenths of a second lost from Hinchcliffe and Menard, and Allmendinger has got right up with them. Can that 97 help push them along? And to get back into this lead battle, 28 threes though. And right now, it looks like this front 4 have just put their differences aside, and they're just going to drive away from the field. But obviously, this is important. If anyone in this top 4 runs into problems, then whoever's in 5th will pick up the pieces. So it's still not a lost cause. There's still 33 laps to go here. So these guys have still got to keep pushing. Even if they just don't quite have the speed to make it up. Hinchcliffe and Menard are going side by side. McLaughlin's going to dive it on Allmendinger. We've got 2x2 here. Up front, it looks like Chase Briscoe is going to come under a bit of pressure from Tyler Petty. Now, if the cars behind weren't better, this would be decent news for the front row team, but I do think they've lost just a little too much time here, as they're all fighting. As long as Menard can just get the run out of the corner and get clear, have McLaughlin push him along, there is an opportunity. Petty is now side by side with his teammate, and Tyler Reddick is just looking to capitalise for Ganassi. It's good news for Bowman. It gives him a bit of a breather. So here we come. Reddick is now going to get involved. He's going to try and get past Petty as well. He's got close, but he's lost a lot of momentum out of 3. And that's given Petty a bit of breathing room. Briscoe's going to still be looking. Menard, McLaughlin pulled away a bit here. There are a couple of attempts faster that time by. Here comes Matt de Benedetto in the 21 car. He's been a bit quiet today. Is this attack going to be too late from him? We'll have to see. We'll have to see indeed. So this pack's calmed down a bit again, so they'll continue. They'll go back to trying to work together. Tyres are dropping off a bit. We've lost about 6 tenths in the first 20 laps now. So Bowman leads in it from Petty. Here comes Tyler Reddick, who I think is going to want to make the move here. Nard is losing out to McLaughlin. 3 wide in the background. Allmendinger, Hinchcliffe, Kenseth, Priest as well to continue it. So these guys out here giving it something there for the crowd to cheer for. We got Logan Sargent here making it 3 wide. Connor Daly looking for a way through, and then you've got the 57 of Timmy Hill as McLaughlin is losing out 5th position from De Benedetto. So can that Wood Brothers just can pull up to these guys who have been battling? Reddick has made the move on Tyler Petty, and Briscoe is going to look to follow through. Great news for the leader. Let's pull away a little bit. Alex Bowman are looking very much in control of this race at the moment. Meanwhile, Menard is making the move into Benedetto for position. McLaughlin pushing Menard along. These guys definitely need some sort of miracle here. It's the 97 of Allmendinger is coming and get involved. He's looked pretty decent today as AJ Allmendinger. As here comes Ryan Priest in the 39 car. He's always looked pretty racy so far this season. Really outdriving that car. The MBM does have a Gibbs engine, but it is struggling for performance. So he's now going to look. It's good news for Menard. It's given him a bit of breathing space. Meanwhile, Chase Briscoe is fighting with Tyler Petty. Tyler Petty, wrong one. Tyler Reddick out of turn 2. He's going to get himself back up into 2nd position. So right now, this is the fight for their outside of row 20 on the grid. Not the worst position to be, I guess. There are 2 behind it, and dropping back at the start means you get back to the bottom quicker. But there we go, the 44 has made that move. Tyler Petty's going to want to try and find a way past the 1 car. But all of this battling, that's getting very close. That was between Logan Sargent and Kenseth. Caution would change things. It would bring the field back together. But Kenseth just about keeps that car in a straight line. His focus will now be trying to make some moves past these front rows that have been the big ones at the front of this group. Menard, with no help, is losing a bit of struggling for lap speed as the Tylers now looking to battle it out. Tyler Petty all over the back of the 1 car. All of this makes for an interesting proposition for tomorrow's race. You're obviously not going to Screens pack racing. Looks like we're going to have packs of cars. It doesn't look like you can quite get the speed on your own. Obviously, these guys have pulled away, but big battling groups of similarly matched cars, I think, might be something we see a lot of. And we've got RCR, we've got Penske, we've got Joe Gibbs. The Red Bull car has looked pretty good so far this weekend of Bobby Newman. You've got the Hendricks, the Stuart Haases. There's a lot of decent cars here as Tyler Petty now making that move on the 1 car. These guys have pulled very much clear. Menard's just coming out of turn 3 now. Turn 2 now, as Reddick and Petty are battling it into 3 and 4. So looks like very much, unless mechanicals come in or we get a caution, that the top four are pretty settled. Let's calm down a little bit here. Nard's not being able to get much lap speed here in that 35 car. So Nard's out of 2 as Reddit goes into 3. 20 to go at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Alex Bowman is leading the race on the 88 car. Had a shock moment last year where Bowman didn't make one of the races. He was knocked out in the LCQ. I think it was a short track where overtaking was quite difficult, and Bowman just couldn't make it into the top 4, so missed out. But he's having no such troubles at the moment. With the top 4 very much clear of the rest of the pack, just needs to bring it home one piece. There would be a 39th starting position, not particularly helpful, but it's better than nothing. It's a good. You've just got to make the race and work from there. We saw last time out, Suarez had a very decent run-in, so from the back of the field. So it's possible. So looks like Petty got a bit high there. Just look through the field. Timmy Hill at the back for Junior Motorsports. He struggled with this car. Got Daly there, battling with the Rick Ware cars. Wallace Jr. qualifies decently, but just can't get the car up and running in the races. Got Newman and Priest for MBM. Got some decent enough race cars for back of the field teams. De Benedetto, Nemechek, Allmendinger, Sargent, McLaughlin. Kenseth's got some good speed. He's all over the back of James Hinchcliffe here, who hasn't quite managed to work his way towards the 35 car. Of Paul Menard. Menard's struggling for pace. He's a few tenths, about 10th or so off the pace at the moment. It was more earlier on in the race. We're coming up on 15 to go. The top 4 very much have worked well together here. There's been a few battles, but when it mattered, these guys all got their heads down and pulled out that gap. It was sort of the point of the race where Logan Sargent was looking like he was trying to get involved, and then you had the 35 with Menard. But once these 4 got up front and worked together for a bit, that was it. And it has allowed a few battles between them. Petty has now got Tyler Reddick looking for a move. But this sort of interesting nature of packs, it looks like we could very much have a sort of pack race tomorrow. It doesn't look like these cars can get out on their own, pull away. It's not quite like it was in North Carolina. Obviously, you can do it once cars behind you are battling. You've got a speed advantage, but it does look like in clean air alone, you can't really pull a huge gap. The Petty cars this weekend, we saw Harvick was very quick at North Carolina. Got a good result there. But the Petty cars this year are not quite up to scratch. Definitely not towards Hendrick levels. But here, because obviously you need to be close to people, then it's worked quite well for them. They've kept in touch and distance of Bowman, who's got the pace advantage over them, and they're running very well. So unless we see this big pack of quick cars near the front of the field, unless they work together, then I feel like they're going to have a really big battle on their hands. We could see a few wrecks, a few cautions. We saw a big wreck at North Carolina in strategy. But it looks like here, if we get 3 or 4 wide, there's a higher risk. Everyone here, the LCQ has been well behaved, but with a bigger group of cars, this is only 19 on track compared to 42. Then could be a bit of an interesting run for tomorrow. Further back in the field, James Hinchcliffe is now running 5th place. He's got past Menard, who's now looking to make the move back on Matt Kenseth in the 95 car. You've got McLaughlin looking here as well. Logan Sargent running pretty decently. He's got Nemechek and Allmendinger here. Struggling there is Darrell Wallace Jr. Priest, Daly, Benedetto struggling here. And we get Newman, Morrison, Hill, and Hemrick. So McLaughlin now going to try and look to make a move past the 95 car. I think if we had fewer quick cars, so to speak, in this LC, if there was a few slower cars, maybe it's Starcom of Landon Castle, though Starcom have made some really good progress with the engine program here. They really believe that Starcom really believe they're in a good position to make most races now. They believe their car has got good engine output. It's not too bad in the corners. They really believe they can be consistent qualifiers, but it'll be interesting to see how they would have coped in this sort of scenario. Other slower teams potentially near the back. Jermaine might be a bit under pressure with Tyler Anderson going forwards. He's always been sort of on the bubble. But he's made all 3 races so far. We can't fault him for that. The Gaunt cars, they made huge upgrades to their chassis from the first round of the season. Obviously, they were running RCR equipment last year, but in the first race, back as a solo team, back as a individual entity, they really struggled. They made a lot of upgrades to their chassis, and they're looking, wow, they're not fast this weekend. They did just about make the race. They're in the 30s, but they've got a really good car in the corners here, as McLaughlin is going to see John Nemechek make a move on him. 4th position here. I think Roush will be an interesting one to see how they progress over the year. We obviously saw a top 5 finish from Bourdais last week in North Carolina. But there are a few weaker drivers in that team. Bain, Lundgaard, they might be ones to look at in qualifying going forward. Obviously, another big team that we sort of have seen in the LCQs and failed to make the race the last few times is JTG, but that seems to have changed. They've made very good progress, both engine and aero, and Denny Hamlin was top 10 in this group for qualifying, and he's in a good position for the race. So, back up front, not much has happened as we enter the last 5 laps of the race. Bowman continues to lead, but he's not pulling away from Chase Briscoe. And we've got Tyler Petty and Tyler Reddick still holding down 3rd and 4th at the moment. Sort of an interesting tidbit on tyre wear. Best laps, we've got 27.890, 27.893, 27.865, and 27.995. Bowman's best lap is mainly because it's lower, mainly because of the fact that he's not had anyone to draft up against. But sort of looking at the times now, we're in 29.4s, 29.5s. So the pace drop-off's been about a second and a half so far in this 50 lap run. As we can see, Kenseth is losing out a few positions. John Nemechek moves up into 7th place, and he'll be looking to try and find a way past Hinch and Menard. Kenseth, Allmendinger, McLaughlin, Sargent, and Wallace are in this group. Wallace qualifies decently, just can't get it going in the race. Daly and De Benedetto have pulled away a bit. We have Newman, Hill, Priest, Hemrick, and Morrison. 2 to go in this race. Alex Bowman has been well in control. He's not really been challenged. A poor start from Tyler Petty allowed him to get back low. On the exit of 2, on lap 1, he took the lead away from the 44 car of Chase Briscoe. And he's not looked back since. Want to go at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Looking just here, Petty looks like he's going to hold off the Ganassi car of Reddick. It's quite interesting to watch here. I would have expected Reddick to make more of an impression on Petty in this sort of latter stages of the race, but there we are. But coming around turn 4 for the final time, Alex Bowman wins the LCQ at Atlanta Motor Speedway from Chase Briscoe, Tyler Petty, and Tyler Reddick. And here at the back for the 5th position, James Hinchcliffe looks like he's going to hold off his teammate Paul Menard, but he's going to miss out on the race. Nemechek in 7th, Kenseth 8th, Allmendinger 9th, McLaughlin 10th. Sargent, Wallace, Daly, De Benedetto, Newman, Timmy Hill, Ryan Preece, Daniel Henry, Noah Morrison. Round out your field. Quite interesting to see in the top 4. They pulled about a 10-second gap on the field. And Bowman will then be starting 39th tomorrow's race. Chase Briscoe in 40th, Tyler Petty in 41st, and Tyler Reddick 42nd. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Andy Graham. This has been the NR2003 Twitter Manager Championship, and we'll see you for the main event. Goodbye.